AOC is in some trouble. AOC has caught herself in hot water, some spicy water. She's a Latina, right? Hot tequila. Can we say that? She's in some hot tequila right now, AOC, because she was recently advising criminal illegal aliens on how to avoid ICE detection and deportation in an online webinar. Now, it goes without saying, if any of you would advise people on how to not only violate federal law, but evade police while doing so, you would be in trouble. Now, imagine if you did that on a recorded webinar, and then imagine if when you got called out on it by Tom Homan, the border czar for Donald Trump, you posted this on your Instagram story and tripled down on it. Go ahead. Says, if you see ICE in public, verified document, share it. Basically, it's a how-to guide on how to avoid being deported if you are here in this country illegally. So Tom Homan said we're going to be looking into pressing charges, potential criminal investigation into AOC for aiding and abetting. You can go ahead and close that now. And AOC wrote this to Attorney General Pam Bondi, who we know we're not big fans of on this show. She's been on our bad side with the Epstein and JFK thing, but here's what she said. She said, "Dear Attorney General Bondi, I write to request clarity on whether the DOJ has yielded to political pressure and attempts to weaponize the agency against elected officials." Ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? Whose speech they disagree with. Over the past 2 weeks, border czar Tom Homan has gone on multiple forums threatening political prosecution. No, that's just prosecution, sweetheart, for breaking the law against me, citing resources I distributed, information, informing my constituents and the American public of their constitutional and legal rights. So hold on. So she goes on. So the Democrats have been telling us for the longest time that illegal immigrants don't vote. Yet AOC goes on an online webinar and informs people who are in this country illegally on how to evade ICE capture, on how to evade being deported, and then turns around and refers to them as her constituents. They're not your constituents. Did they vote for you? I thought they didn't vote for you. Okay, weird. It says on February 13th, 2025, Mr. Homan announced that he had asked the Deputy Attorney General to open an investigation, that I will be in trouble now. It has been 14 days since he first threatened to weaponize your agency, but I have not yet heard any referral from the federal government. Homan's actions undercut core constitutional rights, and further transparency is necessary. So here's my question, Mia. How many hours of sleep do you think she's gotten since he made this threat? Because she knows she's in shit right now. How many hours of sleep total over these 14 days did she get after he said this? Because it's like, oh no, my actions have consequences now. What were you going to say? Sorry.
Oh no, I was just trying to do the math to like come up with maybe like a couple hours a day.
Yeah, you know, like that heart drop feeling you get when you do something that you know you shouldn't have done, and then the consequences actually catch up with you for it. That's kind of what's going on here. I can imagine the way this woman must have just vomited her heart up through her throat. It says, so then she quotes the First Amendment, like that has anything to do with aiding and abetting fugitives. And she continues to go on and on. So they are investigating her, as it turns out. And check out this interview she did with NPR.
You had a recent dispute, if that's the right word, with Tom Homan, the president's Homeland Security czar, so-called. You held an online forum, a Know Your Rights forum, that he didn't like. What were you doing? What was your goal as you saw it?
My job is to educate and act as a liaison of critical information to my constituents. And I was informing all of my constituents of their constitutional protections, and in particular, their constitutional protections against illegal search and seizure in the United States.
They're not citizens.
Homan was upset, I suppose, because he felt that you were giving advice to people who were here illegally. Mm-hmm. Were you?
I was giving advice to all of my constituents. Yeah. He
said he was going to report you, or even that he did reach out to the Department of Justice. Have you heard from the Department of Justice?
I have not, and I intend on reaching out to the Department of Justice to inquire.
Really? What would your question be for the Department of Justice?
Well, there is a member of the Trump administration who is threatening and seeks to open an inquiry. And are you going to do it?
What would you learn? What do you hope to learn from that exchange?
I think it's important to know where this administration stands and if they intend on using political intimidation to silence their critics.
She is so nervous. It's not political intimidation. You broke the law. You were part of the last administration that actually used political intimidation to silence its critics. It didn't work. You broke the law. You advised illegal immigrants, people who shouldn't even be in this country, on how to evade federal law enforcement so that they could continue breaking federal law. That is a crime in all 50 states and D.C. That has nothing to do with silencing opponents. Mia, here's my... Did she gain weight? Did you see her? She's gained weight. There were rumors going around that she was pregnant, but she denied them. So she's just gained weight. You can see in the face over there. She's just packed on the pounds. Usually Puerto Rican women wait until after they have kids to start throwing. Okay, that was racist. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Did I go too far there? Okay.
Maybe a little.
Maybe a little. That's, what can you do? We talk about how the... We've talked about having some folks that are more connected to the political establishment on this show, and so many of them are so hesitant to come on the air and share a microphone with me. Why do you think that might be?
I have no idea.
I couldn't
It's
imagine.
a good question.
I couldn't imagine why people wouldn't want to come throw their names on this show. I have no idea. It's fine. Okay.
Dan Osborne did.
You know what? Give Dan credit. And you know what? I was talking to someone that was close to this campaign. And to his credit, they said if Dan ran again, he'd probably come back on your show. So, I'll give the guy credit where it's due. I don't dislike Dan as a person. He seems like a nice guy. His ads annoyed me, so we made a parody video that his opponent weaponized against him. That's not my fault, even though I agreed to let them do it for free. That's not my fault. Okay, we've got Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you could actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.